G. I know a lot of people always say it wrong. It's Geedy, but don't feel bad because sometimes Stunner call me Giddy. Some people call me Greedy P. I guess because they glance at it, but it's Geedy. So.
Well, man, let's talk about New Orleans, man. It's been a lot of talk about New Orleans, man. Y'all
Mhm.
got it's supposed to be a Hot Boys reunion.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people are so glad that's what's about to happen with the Louisiana Fest because they was thinking it was gonna be a Hot Boy tour, but it never was promoted like that. Like, if you look at it, when Essence did it, they said Birdman and Friends. Louisiana Fest coming up, everybody gonna get to see that because all of them confirmed it. So we're gonna see all of them on the stage for the
Do you
first time in almost 20 years.
subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man?
This Geedy P. I'm in Houston, Texas with Donnie Houston. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share. Rest in peace, Soulja Slim, the real, whatever, and shout out. Rest in peace,
Yeah, man, it's going down. It's Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We got a special guest. You know what I'm saying? All the way from New Orleans, man. You know what I'm saying? Representing, man. One of the young personalities out there holding it down, man. Representing for the city on the media side. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cash Money affiliate. And like I say, man, just all around New Orleans representative, man. My dog, Geedy P. What's going down, baby?
What's up? What's up? It's G. I know a lot of people always say it wrong. It's Geedy, but don't feel bad because sometimes Stunner call me Giddy. Some people call me Greedy P. I guess because they glance at it, but it's Geedy. So
I thought I was saying Geedy, but then I watched the thing with Stunning. He was saying Geedy, and I'm like, well, shit, well, maybe I'm saying
yeah,
it wrong.
no, you said it right. A lot of people say it wrong, and it's crazy. A lot more people in New Orleans get it wrong than people out of town. They get it right or whatever. But like I said, people that say Geedy, Greedy P. Some people might say
They put the
baby
R on
say
there, gave a
Giddy,
nigga a
baby
whole new
say
name.
Giddy, and all that stuff like that. But
Hmm.
it's GDP, just like you got Reedy, Treaty, Deedy, Weedy, Petey, GD. Master P nickname really in the project they call Master P. In the Cali where we from, they call him Petey. And C Murder nickname is Seedy. So a lot of people in the project could call him Seedy. It's Cali, but it's really pronounced Calliope after the thing that's on the steamboat or whatever. But that's the name of the project that they from. But they call him Seedy, and they call Pete Master P Petey or whatever. So it's GDP.
So how you get to GDP? How you get to that?
Well, that's a good question. My real name Gregory and my last name Earl. My sister named Dee Dee and DeAndre Earl. So kind of like that or whatever and all that. So it comes from like the Gregory and the Earl. So GD and then like the Dee Dee or whatever. So the G. It comes from the G or whatever and all that. My last name Earl. So I thought that'd be cool. And that's my sister's nickname. So GDP. But it was inspired a lot by Master P too, whatever. The P on it and stuff. And before the stuff with Diddy, the P and so I just felt like that was like a little cool part of it. And I used to always like to wear the glasses, the oval shape and all that. So the youngest ones at the St. Bernard Project, they used to always be saying, man, GDP or whatever. And they started adding it to it. So it sounded
So that's
good.
you was coming up in St. Bernard?
No, well, I grew up, the youngest ones, they from out the St. Bernard Project. But I grew up around the St. Bernard Project too, which is in the 7th Ward.
7th Ward, right.
So the St. Bernard Project is the second largest housing project in New Orleans. And the first largest housing project was the Desire Project, which is in the 9th Ward. And you probably heard Soulja Slim say, I got plans bigger than the Desire Project, from what I was told, the intro on 1998. Streets made Give It to Him Raw album. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Desire Project, the largest, and then the St. Bernard will be the second largest. But I lived around the St. Bernard Project in the 7-1. I grew up in New Orleans East, but I really rep the East more because I went to Livingston and Ableton, and that's in New Orleans East and stuff like that. So even though we stayed downtown a lot, I was going to school in the 7-1 a lot. I was going to school in the East a lot. So I rep the 7-1 East, kind of like how Baby might say from the 3 to the 13, which is, BG and Baby from Valence and Magnolia, that's 13. And the 3rd wall be Saratoga Nevada, where the street was at. Mm-hmm. So the Slim represent the 3rd wall, the Parkway where KLC from, and the Magnolia. So from the Parkway to the Nolia. So both of them.
So what area of New Orleans were you coming up in? Like, what was going on in New Orleans at the time when you were coming up?
When I was growing up, a lot of violence, a lot of killing, a lot of drug dealing.
Musically, what was like?
Musically, okay. Musically, you had Cash Money was real hot. You had Take 4 Records was real hot. They did the bounce like with Jubilee and all them. Mm-hmm. You had Big Boy with Precise and all them, and Partners in Crime, and Black Menace. You had Feel I Feel and them downtown out the night with Slaughterhouse Records. You had Doghouse Posse across the river. Um, Man, it was a lot going on. Yeah, Cheeky Black. So you had a lot of the bounce stuff. You had a lot of that going on in the city locally. And then you get to the mid '90s and late '90s. That's when you start seeing Cash Money Blowing. But in the city underground, it was like the biggest to me that I remember. Like that was really killing. It was like, Big Boy Records, Cash Money Records, Take Four Records. And like I said,
But
I like
early
to feel
Cash
like
Money though, like the UNLV Cash Money.
Cash Money, yeah, early Pimp Daddy, Miss T, Lil Slim, Mr. Ivy. Um, but UNLV was like really holding it down. Then you get BG coming right after that. But the flagship artist at the time was them. On Big Boy side, you had like Mystical. You had Partners in Crime.
Fiend was over there
You
at the
had
time.
Fiend over there. It was killing it, like I said. And there's a lot of them over there. You had Partners, you had Ghetto Twins. But then before they even got Rap a Lot, but then you got then you had, like I said, Take Four Records that was killing it. Willie Puckett, DJ Jubilee, all the block parties, all the stuff with the kids and the projects that was big. DJ Jubilee ran shit. Like Jubilee was that guy, or whatever, and all that. Like he still is.
Yeah, no, that Jubilee shit made it out here. Like I still play Jubilee as a DJ. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
DJ Jubilee.
If you
That
back it up and you don't jump up.
right. Jubilee
Give
gonna
us
have
a-
everybody dancing and all that stuff
Yeah.
like that. So he gonna make all the dances up. I seen somebody, Sexy Ray was in New York, and the guy was doing a dance with her, and he got up and she was doing a beanie weenie, and Jacoby did it, Master P always did it, Currency and Wayne did it on with a cash at. So yeah, that's that dance. But shout out to DJ Jubilee. He don't get his flowers a lot, but you know, he do a lot for the kids and he did a lot for our music. So
Yeah, nah, like me here in early New Orleans, like DJ Jimmy, Jubilee and shit. Like I
DJ
heard all
Jimmy.
that before I heard like rap from New Orleans. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It
yeah.
was
DJ
sweet.
Jimmy, Warren Mays, with Get It Girl, yeah, Bust Down with Uncle Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Same guy that sound H Town and all that. We had Tim Smooth, that was another artist that was really popular from across the river. He was from Avondale, Kennedy Heights neighborhood. I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And like I said, you had MC Thick, with Cruise Down the Street Real Slow, fellas be like Yellow Monroe. So we had our own little thing, even though I felt like we was influenced a lot too by what was coming from the West Coast and all that, because they like the pop, Too Short, Spice One. Then you got Ghetto Boys that are big influence, because everybody likes Scarface. Soldier Slim love Scarface. Baby favorite rapper, Scarface. He told me that's why his favorite first artist, which was Kilo G, that got murdered. That Pimp C was actually featured on his one of his first projects or whatever, first Cash Money release. Pimp C was on it. It was the second or the first release. But anyway, he was in the sound was influenced by rap a lot. So beats was more sounding like rap a lot stuff until Fresh came and then changed it and got more of a bouncy sound, because he felt like that was the more popular sound of that moment in the city. Baby changed it, but initially Baby was influenced a lot by rap a lot, because everybody liked the J Prince.
So man, so when did you start kind of getting into it? Like, how did you get into position to? Because I mean, like you say, you hit up Birdman, and you know what I'm saying, like you got in position to have these relationships. I mean, kind of the same way that I did out here in the H. Like,
Right.
that's why it's always dope to see you doing your thing in New Orleans. So I'm
Right.
like, man, this is a cat.
Now
out
I've
here.
been wanting to get on your stuff, and I had been, hitting you up and all that, but I understood that, you gotta put the work in. I know it now, even from doing it too. I feel like if you work hard enough, people gonna see you, and when the time right, it's gonna make sense and the conversation gonna be even more dope. But I initially got into music because my dad was a singer. My dad used to be in a group with Lil Ya uncle. Lil Ya uncle at the St. Thomas Project, which is the project G is Jubilee from. And my dad grew up in the third world. So they had a group called the Mystics. They still be doing shows now. But there was a group in the 70s. The guys that used to be playing the music for them was a group called Chocolate Milk. Chocolate Milk made a song that was a big hit called Groove City. There's a place where everybody grooves, Groove City. So there was the musicians behind that or whatever. And my dad was in that group. So he always used to like to watch Donnie Simpson, Video Soul back in the
yes,
day.
sir.
Used to watch a lot of Soul Train, with Donnie, with Don Cornelius. We used to watch a lot of Showtime at the Apollo. Daddy used to always tell my Harlem. So I seen a lot of the music stuff. He liked the boxing. My daddy wasn't really into sports outside of boxing and music. That's all I seen. My older brother, he's 7 years older than me, so he was always going. And when we stayed in the 7 Ward, they used to have a store called Gimmick Records on Paris Avenue, right off the interstate. And he used to always get, like you said, Spice One, UNLV, 8 Ball MJG, UGK, Ghetto Boys, So me, Tupac, me being around him, he playing all this all the time, whatever. So I'm listening to all his own music, and that made me fall in love with it. And then when I was in college, like how you went to Texas Southern. I went to HBCU in Tuscaloosa, T-Town, called Stillman. So my cousin was starting his record label. But before that, I always wanted to do it because my brother that's doing life in prison
This
for
is brother
murder.
that's 7 years older than you.
No, this my younger brother. So I got an older brother that's 7 years older than me, and I got a brother that's younger than me, 1 year younger than me. He doing life in prison for a murder. And I was getting into the music because of him and my friend. And I got a lot of equipment when I was going. Dale got to this community college in New Orleans. I had took some of my money from my student loan and some other money that I had saved up, and I bought a lot of equipment. Because I wanted to get into it, just like I kind of like how Jay Prince had started Rap a Lot. He was like, I named it Sir Rap a Lot behind my brother, try to keep him out of prison. It was same with my brother, but then he wound up
So
going to
you knew
jail.
so your brother was already on this path, and you was trying to really like.
Yeah, because he was already in the streets or whatever. My brother was in the streets hustling and all that, young driving dope boys cars and up to the back of the apartments and just moving and grooving. So he never made it to high school. He had dropped out in middle school, so he was already in the streets. But I knew he could rap and he was dope and he used to freestyle a lot like Lil Flip. So I used to be like, they'll pop X pills at the time. At the time, that was the thing. Like that's how Baton Rouge get the nickname Jigga said. Everybody's popping X pills. You
So
get
this is like
them.
04, 05 up in there.
Yeah, around 04, 05, yeah, because this around the time Bad Boys come out, in the movie, that's the thing, they're going after the ecstasy ring and all that.
Oh, that's
So,
02, 03. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
around that time, right around when Boosie and them dropped like Ghetto Stories, a gangster
Mm-hmm.
music album. So, I got the equipment for them, and then, we get all that stuff. Then Katrina hit. Fast forward, my brother wound up, going to jail a little after that, and I got my cousin that had a record label, and I started like being an A&R working with him. But I already had knowledge from doing the stuff with my brother and studying all this stuff. So all that stuff with my brother and them and my dad and them with the music, it made me love it. And then I just was like Babyface when they had the deal in LA Reid. LA Reid was like, I'm a drummer, but who gonna do the business stuff? Babyface can write the song, they can make the music. I need to do the executive stuff. So I wound up saying I'm gonna do that, the Damon Dash type, Master P, Sugar Slim type stuff.
Hmm. So then, when do you start like really connecting with like the culture in New Orleans?
Well, I mean, I already was like knowing it, but then doing the stuff with my cousin label, Zero 60, we had S8 at the time and the youngest ones, and then Super Blanco that was in the group Squad Up. So, we used to stay together. Him and my cousin Chuck that passed away, we was all staying together. And my cousin had all Super Blanco. He had a song Bet I Do. It was on 106 and Polk. We're doing all kind of stuff, whatever. So my name went to getting out there like that. Then S80 to get the song that was got big, Meet Me Halfway, got a deal with that. And then Fee Banks that was like one of Wayne's best friends. And then, he managed Kevin Gates, Fee Banks managed NBA Youngboy, Quanda Rondo, a slew of other artists. He was working with S82, so all us in the same little clique. He out the East too. So, we go on the road with Lil Wayne on the dedication tour, the first one, I think it's the first or the
No
second.
shit.
Right, so this before Ray Shrimmer dropped the song Black Beatles. So we on the tour with them, and we got cool after a couple of days on the road with them. We started hanging a lot with them, whatever. After they'll do their set, we'll all just congregate, they crew and our crew, because they from Tupelo, Mississippi, where Elvis Presley from. So I guess by us being Mississippi, Louisiana, So we did that or whatever, and after we left off the road with them, I started working with no, before that I worked with BTY Youngin. So a lot of people knew me about him too. BTY Youngin was like this generation Soldier Slim or whatever in New Orleans and stuff like that. He was living his rhymes. He had been shot before. Say Cheese had interviewed Sean Cotton and stuff.
I
Yeah, so and Birdman, supposed to sign him a couple of days before he had wound up getting killed. So I worked with him, Super Bad, S80, the youngest ones, and all that. I feel like that kind of made people know who I was on
And you working with them in the capacity of like A&R and just helping them kind
and
of.
boy, Youngin and Superbad kind of like management. Youngin for show management. Superbad, I'm kind of like managing the S80 and all of the youngest ones. Kind of like A&R because it was my cousin label or whatever. Some might say president, but I felt like I was more A&R at 0 to 60. So I feel like those two things on the executive side and me loving to read and being a student of the game, it made it easier for me to work with artists and be more of a coach. So that's why I like to read books like Phil Jackson had a book called 11 Rings. Are you familiar with the book? He talk about all the different personalities of all the different at least he had the coach and they different. Dennis
How you
Rodman
got to
from
manage all
Shaquille.
it. Mm-hmm.
You got to manage all that together. You got to make them play together. So I learned that different artists different and their personalities different. And I think that helped me with being a music executive. So I feel like that's why I could connect so much with them. And that's kind of how I got known more in the city, But the blogging made them really know my face. But behind the scenes, a lot of people knew I was involved with certain talent. Yeah.
Well, man, let's talk about New Orleans, man. It's been a lot of talk about New Orleans, man. Y'all got it was supposed to be a Hot Boys reunion.
Right.
It didn't really reunion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was it supposed to be that, or was this just a thing of like it became a hearsay thing that just got out of hand?
I think everybody probably wanted it to happen because we all grew up on the Hot Boys, and everybody would love to see all of them come together. Just like when we see the Locks or we see Dipset in any other group. If it was the Temptations or the Miracles, we would want to see the Jacksons together. So everybody wanted to see the Hot Boys and our era together. But it still was stuff that was going on eternally. With certain individuals and all that stuff like that, and we seen how they kept kind of playing out. So but like Baby said, when I interviewed, he said that was supposed to be Wayne was supposed to have his own set that he wanted to do separately, and then like I said, Turk wasn't there, and a lot of people wasn't really excited about that because a lot of fans wanted to see all of them together and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's why a lot of people so glad that's what's about to happen with the Louisiana Fest because they was thinking it was gonna be a Hot Boy tour, but it never was promoted like that. Like, if you look at it, when Essence did it, they said Birdman and Friends, just like Puffy had the Bad Boy thing.
Right. You just assume, Birdman gonna bring out the Hot Boy.
Right, but it could be Birdman and anybody. It could be Jermaine Dupri and anybody. So it could be
because Birdman hand goes so far. He took
right. So they were just thinking the city's like Hot Boys, because that would have been the whole thing since all of them been home at one time, whatever. Not. But like I said, Louisiana Fest coming up. Everybody gonna get to see that because all of them confirmed it. So we're gonna see all of them on the stage for the first time in almost 20 years.
Do you have any relationships with the Hot Boys, any guys over there?
I don't, like I said, I don't have a personal relationship with Wayne. I mean, I never met Juve or whatever before, but like I said, BG, I talk to BG all the time. When I was just talking to BG when he was up there with Mano in New York, everybody know I got a relationship with Stunner, cool with Sugar Slim.
How did you get so close with Birdman? How did that?
I got close with Birdman because BTY Youngin. So he saw he heard of me, and then I think he told me his nephew Nino Calvin, which is his best friend is Cito or whatever, and Cito brother name is Tonto, so that's Nino Calvin daddy. He was real cool. Nino was telling about me or whatever. He's like, man, Nino told me about you too. Plus I knew about you from BTY Youngin or whatever, seeing what you was doing. That's what I heard. So the work I did for Youngin or whatever, like I said, a lot of people did like Youngin music and stuff like that, and Baby and Youngin was real tight. So he was like, man, I saw what you was doing. And he said when Youngin was in jail, Youngin told me how you joked him. Josing, our lingo. That's like, for people that don't know, that's like somebody that could be joking you or whatever, josing, y'all ribbing and joking on each other. Some people call it jonesing, we call it ribbing. Or it could be you doing a long time in prison and somebody just looking out for you, sending your mama money, taking care of you in jail, putting money on the phone. So I was josing Youngin, and Youngin told Baby that I kept it real, and Baby said that was real. So he was like, seeing what you doing out here with the music, with the artists, and how you kept it real with him, and he spoke highly of you. I respect that. So he was like, anything I could do to help you out, I want to be involved, and I want to try to help you out. So that's why he did interviews with me and invited me to Miami. I bought YD out there, the illest. I bought G Jerk out there, the same banana. I bought OBG Bang, and the artist I work close with, J Merck, which is an artist that I met through BTY Youngin. Youngin never put me on the phone with no rapper in jail the whole time. He was in the parish. In Louisiana, we got 64 parishes. Everybody got counties. We got parishes. So in the parish prison, they was in there together before pre-trial fighting, and Youngin put me on the phone with him. And I stayed in touch with him, and that was like 10 years, almost 10 years ago, because Youngin been deceased 7 years. So yeah, I got cool with J Merck through Youngin. So Baby saw what I did with Youngin, and that's what made Baby reach out to me and say, man, I won't, fuck with you any kind of way. I'm gonna help you, and you got a good ear. So he like, I want you to be an A&R. I feel like, you got an eye for talent, and the culture love you, and you self-made. You took a cell phone, like Dolph once said, you could take a phone and, make yourself popular if you know how to use it right. And I feel like I took the phone and made myself a presence and all that.
Yeah, man. Can you help me understand something? Because I haven't really even understood what's the real disconnect between Turk and the rest of the guys. I don't really know what.
Well, a lot of people always said it came from the stuff with the watches, on Drink Champs, and when I told the Turk before, he was like,
just what I'm saying with the Geneva thing.
Well, it was the Geneva stuff, and Wayne, we got crabs and all that stuff like that, and I guess maybe
Wayne just putting too much bad info.
Yeah, and it's not saying it didn't happen, and it ain't true, and that's cool too. You say what you want, but I just feel like when you say, just like if I say something and I be like, man, that's the truth. I say what I want to say. That's cool. I can say it, but I gotta deal with whatever come with that. I gotta deal with how you feel. What I say, I could say something that me and my brother did for real. He might be like, Greg, I didn't want you to say that, bro. Like, I know that shit happened, but that ain't
That
your
ain't for
place
you
to
to put
say
out there.
that. Yeah, like if you want to say something, you just participated in that. You was doing this wild shit, then cool. But I might don't want that out there. And if I feel a certain way and I back up off you, you gotta respect that or whatever, because you gotta know when you say it, you gotta stand on it. And that's why Baby was saying, niggas say what they want, they gotta stand on it. I don't know every detail, but I know on outside looking, and it was that, and it was things that he said about Fresh too on certain stuff, but him and Fresh was able to come get past that. Fresh and Juvie and Turk had their little differences at first, but they was able to hatch it out. Him and BG, I still feel like they gonna get there eventually and stuff like that. But it was from what I know, it was the watches stuff, it was the crab stuff, it was other stuff, and but I think they getting better. I think the show with them doing for Lil Wayne stuff, I feel like it's gonna bring close together because all of them had said stuff and all of them historically than this, stunner, some more than others and all that, but all of them took shots at Baby and all that stuff like that. And today they love each other and all that. Some of them do. So I feel like eventually it's gonna get there, just like Bad Clicks and Rockefeller, Rap a Lot, Death Row. Everybody that went through it and all that. Nobody not exempt to it. Even Motown Records and all that. Jackson 5 had stuff, and they all brothers and they daddy and all that. So I feel like everybody go through that or whatever and all that. And Turk passionate. He speak from his heart. But like he said, when he was on Drink Champs, he was drinking a lot. And when you look at stuff like Drink Champs, they want you to do that.
Oh, they said, yeah, they
setting you up for that. And I remember Cam, when he did his, he like, no, I'm not about to drink nothing. I'm going to drink the champagne when I get home. I know you talking about this a gift from Jay-Z us. I'm not about to drink nothing. And I understand that because look what Irv Gotti did. He got on there, he talked all that stuff about Ashanti. And even when it was true or not that y'all had a sexual thing going on, because
that ain't everybody's business.
That ain't everybody's business and all that stuff like that. So I thought it was distasteful. And that's why the blogs got on them next day or whatever. So, but it's good for Drink Champs, Same thing with Shay Shay. People be on there, they go to drinking. People go to drinking, they go to saying stuff, and they be like, man, what the fuck was I thinking? So I think that moving forward, I think Turk probably learned from that, and I doubt if he probably do that as much drink when he's going to talk about some serious things that he probably want to be mindful. And that go for anybody. Even Juvie. Juvie like to get his sip on. But I think it's a time and a place and a reason and season for everything. So I think learning from other people's shortcomings, sometime we could all be better or whatever and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to see them all together. My favorite song for the record on Get It How You Live 1997 album is with Juvie and Turk with the infrared or whatever and stuff like that. So
that's what I'm saying with Turk, that boy say that boy got so many. I mean, he got everybody know the Need a Hot Girl.
Yeah.
But that fucking 2 of the hottest days of the week. Yeah. They harassing and hacking niggas in there.
UPT, that's what I'm saying. So Turk had, and I think that he just didn't get the right singles. Like if Baby and them wouldn't have gave BG that Bling Bling song, that could have went to anybody. That was really a big time song. Like the BG didn't, Manifesting said it, that was really a big time song. And it sounded like a big time song, Bling Bling. But they knew BG needed to sing because all BG talk about the same kind of stuff. Turk talk about slanging nine.
Yeah, straight street.
Yeah. Right, like, all gutter shit, slanging nine, hard times, got a nigga in all black, uptown my home, that's where I do my dirt. Most of this Trigger Play, Made Man, everything somebody getting smoked on it. Even on the intro for Checkmate, man, the first time I bring a slingshot, this, that, it's something with a weapon to do some great bodily harm. So, but if you don't give him a bling bling, do he get choppers in the ghetto get successful or what? So had they gave that song to Turk, we don't know how history would have been. So I just think that some people's at the right time, at the right place in the studio, and some people just got lucky to get records that other people didn't get, and all that stuff like that, And that was their decisions as executives, just like with Fox and Boosie, on Wipe Me Out. And that was really Fox's song, Wipe Me Out. But Turk and Mel knew Webby and Boosie never had a hot single like Webby did. Webby had Girl Give Me That. Webby had Gangsta Bitch.
Like that.
He had a lot of songs on that album. He could have kept putting out more and more singles, just like Nelly, Juvie on 400 Degrees. It was the gift that kept giving. If they would have kept dropping more singles, it could have been like Damn Near All Eyes on Me. But the Juvie album, it's just like Nelly Country Grammy album. So I'm saying it to say that, sometimes executives might take one song and give it to another artist, for whatever reason, but that might make a big difference and all that, so. But yeah, I feel like that was the reason why. But and like I said, the blog and stuff, you know, that kind of come from. I just want to say that too. With Say Cheese, I feel like Texas showed me a lot of love. Even when it was hard, when I first was like doing my stuff, I had to come to Texas. The Big D's and the Big Ants, urban politicians, and you know, Boss Talk 101s and the Say Cheeses and the Terry Blues. Like, you know, a lot of people in Texas showed me a lot of love, and I always felt like that love between Cash Money with Bum B and Pimp C with Cash Money, Master P and, you know, UGK.
Yeah,
and
same thing on the, yeah.
same thing with Trill Entertainment. The name Trill come from Texas, Trill and Real. So Bum B, Mom and Daddy from small towns, Louisiana, Pimp from Louisiana. So I just think that, you know, that love affair, Ghetto Boys always had love down there. So I just feel like Texas always did show New Orleans and Louisiana love. So it'd be on the right, you know, show our country cousins some love or whatever.
For sure. Okay, before we get out of here, how do you feel about Kendrick doing the Super Bowl in New Orleans?
How I feel about Kendrick doing the Super Bowl? No, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I know I really would have liked it for Wayne to do it, and but I do feel like I don't like to take away from Kendrick's moment. I feel like that's selfish us. You know, Jay made the executive decision that he felt like was the best for the moment. Now, I did feel a little bad about it because I do know that the next 2 Super Bowls are gonna be held. Then one gonna be, I think, San Carol, California, which is like in the Bay Area around San Francisco. Then the other one gonna be in Inglewood in 2027, if I'm not mistaken. So by the next 2 being in California, I feel like why not let Kendrick do it then? You know, on that note or whatever and all that. But I do feel like by Wayne loving football so much, we know, you know, Wayne ain't into politics as much as he into sports. He loved Green Bay Packers. Deion Sanders bring him out. Wayne go crazy. He like to do the sports analyst stuff with Skip. So I think on that note, by him loving football so much, I think it would have been great in New Orleans because it's his city and he done so much for hip hop. So, you know, why they can't do it? I feel like if he bring Kendrick out, because Kendrick's favorite rapper is Wayne, and out of Kendrick top 25 hip hop albums of all time, 4 of them out the South, and all 4 of them Cash Money releases. So I know how much he loved New Orleans and loved Lil Wayne. I feel like he might bring him out. I think it's gonna be crazy if he do Did Not Like Us, because that's gonna be like, damn. But this is Kendrick moment, and I don't want to take away from that.
I can't, but that's the thing. It's like, is he really not gonna do Not Like Us as big as everybody?
Right? Yeah, he gonna do it. He gonna do it. I mean, it's the biggest song, so that's why I said it'll still be kind of, you know, a little crazy because that's Wayne artist in New Orleans, so it's gonna be like, damn. So I don't know, but like I said, I mean, I would have loved for Wayne to do it, but I don't feel I can't feel like Kendrick don't deserve it. Like the dude work hard, and I feel like, you know, Kendrick got a lot of socially conscious songs that be thought provoking. Just like he done stuff at the Grammys when he come out there with the Shaq was on and the jail uniforms on, just to touch on how we need to look at the ugly truth of mass incarceration in America. And he put it on stage for the world to see. Imperfections and all that. So that's what I like about Kendrick, because I can still hear the Tupac, the rebel in him and all that stuff like that too. And he's still influenced by Wayne. So of course I'd love Wayne to do it, but I don't want to take away from that. Kendrick didn't deserve his moment either, because he worked his ass off from to get to where he at now at this moment in culture and hip hop.
Okay, I said that was the last thing, but just the last thing. Top 5 New Orleans albums all time.
Top 5 albums in New Orleans all time. It got to be in an order.
Just
period. I'm gonna say to me, because everybody gonna be like, nah. You always gotta sit there for defense, because everybody be trying to say you speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for me. I'm gonna say I gotta put 400 Degrees in there. 400 Degrees, one of my favorites. I love Mind and Mystical. I love Chopper City in the Ghetto. My favorite Carter, damn, it gonna be 1 or 2. I'm gonna probably go 2. Carter 2. What I do so far? That's 3 or 4.
That's fine.
And then if I gotta name one more, man, I gotta go with my boy Soulja Slim. Streets Made Me. I'm gonna go with Streets Made Me as my, even though it didn't get a lot of you know, commercial like marketing and all that behind it, because he had just, you know, come out of jail or whatever around that time. And if I had to give an honorable mention, it'll definitely be Hot Boys on Guerrilla Warfare.
Guerrilla Warfare. Yeah, that's in my top 5 New Orleans albums.
Yeah. But like I said, man, thank you for you know, having me on the show, whatever, and stuff like that, and able to rap a little bit or whatever about, you know, my story, whatever, and all that.
No, I
my love
appreciate
for
you, man.
Texas,
We got to catch up in New Orleans, man.
and I just want to say this for the record, because since we is on the text platform, I just want people to know how much I love Pimp C. Like Chad, Lamont Butler, meant a lot to me, and even when Pimp died, I shed a tear. I mean, I know some of my cousins cried when Pac died, and it was sad, but I felt like that when Pimp died. And I remember Chico Bling said that from 85 South, that his baby mama called him and told him that when Pimp died, he like, why would you say some shit like that? He was in class. He kind of felt like she was trying to piss him off, but she was telling him it really happened. So Pimp C really meant a lot to me, and I love what he stood for the South. And he definitely loved Texas, even though he was born in Crowder, Louisiana. He loved Texas. He was very prideful, and he loved the South. So I always feel like if I could make Pimp proud of what I'm doing, I feel like I did a good job. So I always just be mindful of, what would Pimp think if I did some sucker shit or this in this hip hop shit or whatever. So I just always try to think about, how would he feel about some shit, I was saying or speaking on. And I do these ovals. When I do the oval shape, is the Master P's, the C Murders and the Pimp C's that inspired that. So I just want to make sure I say that before I go. Rest in peace, Pimp. All
Rest
the
in
way
peace,
PA,
Pimp C. Yes,
so
sir.
PA, Texas, all the way to H-Town and all that. It's going down, baby. 3 in the morning.
Already, it's going down, man. My
Going
dog,
down.
Geedy P, man.
Already, Screwston, Texas. We
Oh,
out.
man. Your
What's
social media. Before we get up out of here.
Oh, my social media on Twitter, Geedy P. On Instagram is Geedy. P Speaks. Geedy P Speaks. If you're gonna see me on there, I'm pouring out champagne on there. That's the page, whatever. So Geedy P Speaks, and on YouTube you can just type in Geedy P, find me and subscribe and all that. Like I said, shout out Houston, Texas, H-Town, Screwston, Texas, Syrup City, whatever you want to call it. I'm in the town, and I want to thank you, Donnie Houston, for all the work you've been doing, the proclamations, preserving the culture and really putting it down in a respectable, honorable way, doing it in a classy way, whatever for the South. I just want to tell you, give your flowers too. Thank you.
Man, all love, bro. Man, keep doing what you're doing for New Orleans.
Likewise,
I love
man.
to see it, Donnie.
Likewise. Thank you.
Donnie Houston Podcast, GDP. Hey, man, whip out of here.
Thanks.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston Podcast, man.
Oh yeah.